Yo, what's poppin', AI? I'm Alex.
And I'm your boy Anthony. Welcome to the Exchange.
This week we are going to be talking about the tragedy in the world of entertainment and the excitement in the world of sports.
We'll also talk about student films here at AI.
All that and more on the Exchange.
This past July, the world lost a very talented singer and songwriter, Amy Winehouse. Coroner Suzanne Greenway has given the verdict of death by misadventure. The autopsy report revealed that her alcohol levels were more than 5 times the British drinking limit. The star was pronounced dead on the scene of her Camden, London home on July 23rd. Such a tragedy.
The world lost another valuable asset on October 5th. After his battle with the rare pancreatic cancer, Steve Jobs died peacefully around family and loved ones at the age of 56. Jobs was a part of many venturous endeavors, including being co-founder to Apple, founding Next Computers, and also involvement with Disney and Pixar.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about Steve Jobs, I would suggest that you check out his biography written by Walter Isaacson. It was released this past Tuesday. Isaacson interviewed Jobs around 40 times for the material for his biography, including an interview that was held 2 weeks before his death. So if you're interested, check it out.
Now, it is a fact that when someone dies, someone else is being born. Bruce Willis and his wife of 2 years, Emma Hemming, are having a baby. Yes, the Die Hard series actor already has 3 daughters with ex-wife Demi Moore, Rumor, who's age 23, Scout, who's 20, and Tella Bell, also she's 17. Yeah, they're gonna be expecting a new baby brother or sister very soon.
Now let's talk about football. Tara Owens, commonly known as T.O., had a workout this past week for any teams that might be interested or in need of a receiver. Unfortunately, no representative from all 32 teams showed up. This could mean that the 36-year-old athlete is one step closer to retirement.
Damn.
Time to hang it up.
Minnesota Vikings rookie Christian Ponder has his first career start this past week. Ponder played very well considering that the Vikings faced the defending Super Bowl champions, the Green Bay Packers. Ponder finished the game with 219 yards with 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. His debut earned him another spot next week against the Carolina Panthers. This should be an interesting face-off with Panther rookie quarterback Cam Newton, who is also getting off to a great start.
Now on to the more seasoned talent in the NFL. The Texans receiver Andre Johnson, who has been sidelined the past few weeks due to a minor ACL sprain, has returned to practice this week. This is great news for the Houston Texans with a record of 4-3 and who stand atop the tough AFC South.
That's awesome. Last week, the Philadelphia Eagles traded running back Ronnie Brown to the Lions for Jerome Harrison and a 2012 draft pick. Unfortunately, the trade didn't go through because the team doctors found that Harrison had a brain tumor. Harrison is scheduled to miss the rest of the season. Thankfully, though, the doctors found that early. So our wishes and our prayers go out to the Harrison's family.
This year's Baseball World Series has turned out to be a very exciting one. The matchup between the Texas Rangers and the St. Louis Cardinals has been very intense. Game 6 was postponed due to inclement weather, but last night the Texas Rangers and the Cardinals got it on.
Wow. If you didn't catch the game, let me inform you that there will be a Game 7 in this series. The Cardinals managed to pull out a win last night, with the final score being 10-9. The Cardinals made up for some of their sloppiest games this series last night, but as we know, it's not over. Tonight is Game 7. Who do you think is going to win?
Cardinals.
Okay.
One interesting story in the national news, involves the state of Alabama and immigration. Alabama police are now able to enforce what many consider the toughest immigration law in the United States.
As of yesterday, authorities can question people they suspect that may be illegal immigrants, and they may hold these individuals without bond. This law also makes it possible for officers to check the immigration status in public schools.
After the break, we're going to get for real. Stay tuned.
I'm a sucker for a real chill. Got me going crazy.
This week, we shined the For Real spotlight on Anthony A.J. Bartlett. This piece is a project that A.J. and his team put together during their directing and producing class. This project, however, is still in its production. Bartlett brings us a footage from his upcoming piece, Henry Collins, and some of his insight as an artist. Let's take a look.
Henry Collins is about a war veteran who is dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder from an ordeal that he had while over in the war, which is unveiled that he ends up killing a kid, and we kind of find out in that scene of this is why he's having such a stressful day, dealing with people and isolating himself. And he's just basically trying to cope and deal with that. But more so what we tried to showcase with the film was the mental breakdown, the psychological part, the experience. So having a guy having a bad day and trying to make the best of it each step of the way without, snapping or going crazy or doing something that wouldn't be productive. Strengths and their weaknesses, and it's just finding where your strengths are and understanding your weaknesses. Learning your weaknesses, I think, is like one of the hardest parts, because you got to fall to know, when you got to how to pick yourself up, to even learn how to do that. So, when you don't get discouraged, I think that's one thing where accept your weaknesses for what they are and grow with them. Because a lot of people have them, and if you sit down and actually talk to people and learn from those star students, you get their history and see they made a lot of mistakes in time. You want to learn from their strengths. So don't shy away from that competition. So even if you are that guy in the group who didn't finish, hey, I'm going to finish, and say, you know what, my next project is going to be 10 times better than this and there. So just use that as that motivation and keep fighting, because eventually, after a couple years or so, maybe you just suck after a couple years. But honestly, it's just my first year, and I think a lot of people get discouraged and disillusioned with that. And you have to find what motivates you as an artist, let alone just as a filmmaker. So.
Sounds like a very interesting film. I would like to see it.
You know what? I agree with you. I like to see that too. But the film is still, there's still some kinks, and AJ and his team are trying to work that out.
Film students don't always have it easy, You always have to plan for the unexpected.
Who you telling? And you can't let what you think others are doing better discourage you.
And that's all we have this week. I'm Anthony.
And once again, AI, I'm Alex. Check out us on The Exchange next week.